Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to an all new episode of the One Team We Agree On. We have an awesome show today. Probably our favorite episode with banter, back and forth. This is a recap of our trip to DC to watch the MLS Skills Challenge. But just a quick programming note. Today's video, we were having some trouble with the computer on our end, our streaming platform, and the internet. So the video quality was glitchy all the time. So reached out to the server. They're awesome. And they gave us some tips with our computer. Sometimes just technology is technology. That's the way I look at it. But it's going to be a fun show, but I just want you to know that's why there's no video on today's episode. But we'll be back with an awesome guest on Sunday, so it should be dropping on Monday. And thank you so much for listening.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of The One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Kyle.
We're in the midst of a busy week of soccer.
We are. And so we have a really short episode today. On today's show, we're really going to just be recapping our voyage to DC to watch the MLS All-Star Skills Challenge. It was a lot of fun. And, you know, if you're listening on today's show, just a little warning. We're going to be showing a lot of videos, a lot of pictures. So maybe it's a little better to watch on YouTube. On Spotify, we're going to have it on the video format. So
we did post a bunch of these pictures and videos on Twitter when we were at the Skills Challenge. So if you haven't seen those, you can see them there as well.
Correct. So before we get started, what are we wearing today?
Well, I went with the Black Love Unites with the rainbow lettering shirt.
I know how much you love that shirt.
I do. And I thought it would pair well with it, my pink sparkle headband and in the spirit of all the Barbie hype right now. I do like pink, and I had Barbies growing up, so yeah, I was a girly girl there. So
hey.
Yeah. Kyle, you had a gem doll. Don't lie.
Everybody had gem dolls and holograms.
Gem the holograms was the shit. Okay.
So funny story with that. So I did watch Gem and the Holograms, so my mom, for one of my birthdays, got me a Gem and the Holograms doll. And, got, the entire set, right?
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, boys, boys can play with dolls, all right?
Yeah,
so,
hey, boys played with G.I. Joes.
we did. We played with He-Man and all that
He-Man,
stuff.
yes.
And Smurfs and
Where are
Rainbow
Edie's
Bright.
babies out there?
Yeah,
yes.
So you get, no one really cared. We were playing. And I was like, okay. And it was the whole set with everything.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, bottom line, I just had the Gem and the Holograms set. And I still have them. And they're worth money.
Yeah, where are those?
They're at my dad's house.
Oh my gosh.
And they're still in that set. I'm just waiting.
I used to love Gem and the Holograms back in the day. And so yes, if any of you guys out there like that, give us a shout.
Hey.
I used to love playing that and loved all the pink and good times.
So funny story about that though. So one day my dad walks into my room and he sees the little setup.
Yeah.
And he got really mad and yelled at mom. and it
was
mom,
not as progressive of a time.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was just he's like, why does Kyle have Gem and the Holograms? And he's like, she's like, he watches his show, and it was
It's a good show.
It was just funny, because it was on after He-Man.
Yeah. Do we all agree the Misfits had the better songs?
Yes.
Yes.
We can 100% agree.
Yeah.
And we also agree that the movie was a travesty.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, you mean the one that came out not long ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was sacrilege, but.
Anyway.
Yeah. What are you
I'm wearing the skull.
Yes, one of your favorites.
Yes, I love this one. So, but anyway, before we get started, make sure you subscribe and follow. We are on Twitter at TOTWAG.
We're on Instagram and Facebook at The One Team We Agree On.
And we're also on Apple, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. And by the way, now, again, like I said, we offer video on Spotify because of Riverside. Now, is Riverside great? I'm really enjoying it. I know that people out there in Reddit community hate it and say it's the worst thing ever.
Well,
but
they hate a lot of things on Reddit.
Anyway, I really like this service. So let's go ahead and get started on the show because we really are wandering around when we usually get right to the point. So
that's okay. I'm fine with little side banter on 80s nostalgia.
Yeah. Can we just, real quick, 1 second.
What?
Care Bears or Rainbow Bright?
I loved both of those. Okay, I have my Rainbow Bright doll and Starlight the horse, and I could literally go out to the garage and grab that and show you it. Okay, but I think I had more Rainbow Bright stuff than Care Bear stuff, but I freaking love the Care Bears too.
I had more Care Bear.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's.
Before we go off on too much of a tangent, but
this is not maybe we should do an 80s podcast.
Right? I would totally do that. I mean, yeah, just look at what I posted on Twitter tonight about Barbie stuff that, memories unlocked, the stuff I had.
Let's look at some videos. So we got down there and went to our normal parking spot. So,
in DC. Yeah, so we use Spot Hero, and we park, I want to say it's maybe 0.8 miles away or so. It's not that bad of a walk. We park on 4th Street at this parking garage, and it's like $14. And we parked there when we went to the DC away game last year when we had the hat trick from Jillian. We put up 6 goals. So I definitely recommend that if you decide to go. It's it's on 4th Street. There's like a Safeway grocery store, which has a bathroom, by the way, because we had to use that when we went last time.
Yeah. So we walked up to the stadium, and the first thing we did was we went to our favorite brewery, but
it was closed.
It was closed, but they had some really great signs. So we're sharing the screen right now, and so first was there are a lot of signs around that area. Now this spot is right across from Nationals Park.
Right. So this is Solace Outpost. It's the Solace Brewing Company. It is right along the water, right near that one bridge that goes over the river. And so that's a good pre-game spot when we went to the away game for DC. We'd also been there before they really built it up. We'd been there when it was just kind of like a beer garden.
Well, it wasn't even a beer garden. Like you walked in, there was barrels, like they built the shack,
right?
And there was you walked up the truck, and they were kind of like Sons of Ben. They had a beer.
It was very much like that.
And then they had just a beer garden. There was food trucks. And now it's something really good. And we had
they have that whole wharf area. Yeah.
And we had gone that whole day, going to a couple other breweries in the area.
Right.
And we were both we walked away and we're Solace was the best.
Yeah, we went there before the Phillies were playing at the Nats, so we'd been there for that. And I do like how they have a lot of stuff around the stadium. They're still building a lot, and so it's up and coming. So it's definitely worth checking out. So unfortunately, it was closed, but it was set up for game day hospitality for
which I found out later, it was really a players media VIP kind of.
That's what I kind of figured it was.
Because even I heard somebody going, yeah, all the players go over there, have food, and hang out, and commingle, and So yeah, and then here is us.
Yeah. Before we even talk about that, actually, since Solace Outpost was not open. We went walking down along the river a little bit, and I don't know if you didn't upload the picture there, did you?
No, I didn't.
So we got a picture along the water, but so we're like, okay, well, let's see what else is around here. And they have there's a few restaurants and beer gardens and things along the water. And there was, what was it called? The Salt Line, I think it was called. And there's a bar and there's restaurants. So we're like, oh, let's check this out. So we walk in. And some guys flag us down. They're like, come join us. And, they were Philly fans, too.
It was a whole bunch of
Union fans there. Because we were wearing our Union stuff. We actually were wearing the both the home and away kits. Well, I mean, can you really call it home and away? Because they kind of interchange. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Wearing their two, normal kits. So I was wearing the one from this year, and Kyle was wearing the navy blue, the regular one. So so these guys, there was a bunch of them at the bar there, so we were sitting there, and that was really cool. I figured we'd see some Union fans because it's not far to go.
We saw a lot of Union fans.
Saw a few people. Yeah.
I know Jordan from Stateside Soccer, the podcast, friends with Todd. He was there because we were going kind of back and forth with him, and we saw him walking out. He was walking out when we were walking down the steps. I wanted to meet up with him.
And then shout out to, I believe it was John and Ben, the guys that were staying, two of the guys that were staying at the bar with us.
And I think it was John that worked back in the day with the Brotherly Game.
Yeah, so that was really cool chilling with you guys. Had a really good beer there. I mean, it was a little expensive there, but still, it was a good time. So after that, we had beer before we went to the game, and then we headed over to Audi Field. And so they have, if you've ever been to an away game there, they have like a plaza there, kind of. They have stuff going on, but we pretty much just went right in, and so there we are, and so we go in, and they were actually giving away some scarves actually at that. So we have those to show. Yep. So so they did have the giveaway, and that was nice because we might have ended up getting, going buying one, but this is good. And I like that. Here we go. So it has the date on there. And on this side, it's upside down. It says we are one.
We are one.
And then on the other side, flip it this way.
Yep.
It has All-Star Skills Challenge. Okay. AT&T was a big sponsor. It has Washington, D.C. on it. So that's a nice souvenir from going to that.
So we got two.
Yeah, we each got one.
So my question is this, and I haven't run this by you. But
no, you haven't.
But we got two.
Yeah.
Should we get one signed by Jose and Glesnes at one of the team meetups this year, and auction and have a giveaway?
Maybe. At the very least, I think we should get it signed by them.
So here's the thing. Comment. Should we do this? Mm-hmm. I mean, if not enough people reach our barrier, you know where this is going to go. This is going to go to Union Archives, and Billy will be happy. But at least he'll get that, and shout out to him for getting, hopefully, something special coming up. But anyway.
So we got those. We went in, checked out some of the food options, and we didn't really get to see much of the food options because when we went to the away game last year, we pretty much went, they, took the sports right up, and we went up to like Mount Everest there. Yep. Is what it feels like. It's very, very steep. So we, first we went to get some food though. And so they had a lot of good different food options, and went with some arepas, and
it was good.
Yeah, the food was really good. I had some beef arepas.
And we climbed Mount Everest.
Yeah, so we actually sat, if you've been there and you know where the away supporters are, we were kind of just opposite of that, like just on the other side, on the corner. Yeah. So it was very similar to, being in the away section. But we purposely went all the way to the top too, like mostly almost all the way to the top because we wanted to be able to spread out a little bit.
So let's show some of the other pictures of the fashion area.
Okay. So before we went up, though, we did go in the store there. So they had all the All-Star stuff there. They had the Marvel warm-ups, which I saw the players were wearing as they were coming in. If you guys didn't see, like on the Union had posted on social media, Brujo and Glassness coming in. They're nice. And so they had the warm-up jackets, and then the one had MLS 2023 All-Star on the back. So those were nice. They were a little out of my price range, but
I kind of want that. I'm going to wait a couple years. I kind of want to pick that up.
Those are nice.
They are.
I do like them.
This is my favorite. If I can find this eventually, I like that logo crest. Yeah,
that was pretty cool. And, of course, everything's like red and black. I mean, you figure between DC and Arsenal, there's a lot of red going on there. My high school and my college were red and black. So, I've always liked that color combination. Obviously, no red.
Our current coaching job is red and black.
Oh, that's true. Our swim team were red and black as well.
Our college coaching job is red and black.
Yeah. So, but there was some good merch in there. We decided that we did really like the jerseys that the MLS All-Star team was wearing.
Yeah.
Those are pretty nice. And there it is. I do like that. And we were very tempted to get one, but again, they were like, what were they, like $115 or so.
What do you think about the Arsenal kit?
Okay, so I told Kyle when we were there, I was like, I really liked it, actually. I know it's like highlighter, like yellow.
It looks like a zebra from 1980s.
And I like zebras and I like 80s stuff, so therefore
I
I like it.
I like this.
It's fun. I like it.
I just wish every year MLS and Billy's probably laughing at me and some other people that have been from day one. They didn't always do this, and I knew they haven't, but because Target's a sponsor, they always have the Target.
I love
logo.
Target.
I just wish they would kind of maybe do a local brand every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and then there's one of the scarves.
I do like that scarf.
It was a nice scarf.
But again, for $45.
When we got free scarves when we came in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. If it was $20, I would buy it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and also, and this is the view of where we sat, by the way.
Yeah. So when we got there, what they did was like they were kind of pushing everybody down. They
were kind of like having them fill in. They kind of like closed off the other sides for a while, and we're having people fill up the one side. And then we came in and we went on the corner, and then they opened up the area right behind the goal, and then people were on the other side. So they kind of, it seemed like they were progressively filling in sections. All right, so if you're watching this, by the way, if the photos didn't share on there, sorry about that.
Yeah, there's a glitch.
It's being a little glitchy, but like I said, these photos are all on our Twitter. So they have, they had like the DC supporter section all kind of covered up with their logos and everything, and all the different apparatuses for the skills competition on the field. And so we had a good view, though. Honestly, I liked being here. It's kind of like when we go to hockey games. I like being on the corner. So that was a good view. It was hot as anything, though. Like, it was hot. It was humid. Getting bit by bugs. I'm usually like a feast for the bugs. But, it was a good view, honestly. So, we got to see all kinds of different skills.
Yep.
And did you upload some of those other pictures?
Yep.
So, hopefully these are showing. But anyway, and there's the scarf. So, and they did goalie wars at the beginning.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah. And this is setting up for one where they have to hit the targets in the goal. And that was, let's see, that was the shooting challenge.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Bouanga was really good on the shooting challenge.
Let's talk about that. He was really good. So,
yeah. Which, as expected, honestly.
So let's show some shooting challenge here.
Yeah, Arsenal ended up winning that, but Bouanga was good. Yeah, so we have a little bit of video of that.
All right. There we go.
Yep. So they had to hit targets that were in the goal.
This is Benteke. He did not do well.
No.
He did really bad.
I kept thinking, that could have been Julian.
I thought it could have been Ua.
Okay, can we all agree, though? We really would like to have seen... Ua would have done really well with this. I think I think
a lot
Quinn
of
Sullivan could have done well with it.
I think a lot of Union players would have done well.
Yeah.
And let's show the introduction. So they actually did a live presentation of like Arsenal and the MLS. And then remember, like, they had Matt Geiger show up and he was like, "Hey, it's Matt Geiger," and it was like, wow, really bad.
Yeah, and I would say composition of the crowd was probably a good, like, 75% Arsenal fans. There were Arsenal fans everywhere. And then there was a good portion of DC fans. And then we saw some random fans from other teams. I saw people from Columbus. Obviously, saw Union people. Saw a couple LAFC. Saw Cincinnati. So, I mean, there's a bunch of, like, random ones. But
unfortunately, the live video there is not loading.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on tonight.
Well, anyway. But yeah, it was definitely a good crowd for sure. So, And then after the shooting challenge, and first of all, they started with the goalie wars, which was cool. They had, they had the MLS Next Pro guys in there.
Right.
Yeah, so that was cool. The touch challenge, that was one of my favorites.
Can we show some of the goalie wars real quick?
Yeah.
Let's watch these.
Yeah. Yeah, so here's some of the goalie wars.
This is Union Academy player Ben Martino.
Well, former, right? Is he former?
Former Union?
Yes.
I thought I said that.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, so that was fun, and it ended up going to a tie, so they had to do a tiebreaker, so that was cool. But yeah, so there's goalie wars, and the shooting challenge, and then the touch challenge, which that one is kind of like a skee ball. It looks like a skee ball thing, where the ball gets sent over to them. They can have up to 2 touches on the ball, but they can't let it hit the ground, and then they try to get it in one of the holes, kind of like a skee ball. So there's different point values for it. And Amato is really good on that. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, Almato is really good. Of course, Arsenal won that competition too. But yeah, Almato was definitely the best one from MLS for that.
He was really good on that. So
yeah, they were having a little issue getting that playing, but yeah. So anyway, so the cross and volley challenge, MLS won that one.
Yeah, they did
very well. Yeah. So Kai Harvard's was not good on that.
Nope. Let's watch some of his video.
Yeah, he was the first player to not score on Tyler Miller of all people.
Yeah, and I had
we're like, oh, Tyler Miller, oh, great.
I had actually tweeted this out hey, oh no, Tyler Miller against Kai, and then all of a sudden, Tyler Miller totally shut him down.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if we can get the video to play, but
let me try this one.
See if that'll work.
That's why we take 2. So
basically the balls cross them, and then they have to try to score, and they get more points for doing things like a bicycle kick.
Yep.
So that one was fun. They had the passing challenge, which Arsenal won. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorites and we got that video going. So yeah. So the passing challenge, and yeah, that one's pretty cool. That one got pretty interesting, but again, Arsenal won that one. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to hit different goals on that too. So hopefully you can see that video if you're just listening. That was being done at the same time by a player from each team.
Yeah, it was a really fun challenge. So
yeah.
And then we went.
Everyone's here at the crossbar challenge, which I would have loved to have seen Glesnes or Martinez do.
Right.
Let's be real. That's a missed opportunity. So, yeah, and especially hitting the long ones.
It was. It was good.
Yeah, so that one was fun. That one got really interesting. Of course, that was the last one. So, it did get interesting because, MLS almost caught up on that. So they had to hit from, the first spot, which was a lot closer. And then once they got 5 crossbars hit, then they went back to, the second spot, which was farther out. And wouldn't you know, former Union player Austin Trusty ends up winning it for Arsenal.
So we had Ben Martino and Austin Trusty on that.
Yes. So what does this tell you? Union. Yeah. Union rocks. So overall thoughts on that. What was your favorite event of it, Kyle?
Goalie Wars.
Yeah?
It's always my favorite because I remember this as a kid. And I mean, it was a fun night. If I had to do either the All-Star game or the Skills Challenge, I would do the All-Star Skills Challenge 100% of the time because it's just a fun time. You saw the Arsenal people and fans and players getting into it. They kept getting into it. Oh my gosh. Everybody else is oh, it's Arsenal versus MLS, we're going to kill them. Yeah, they killed them in the game. But like Arsenal came out early, and they were like, "Oh, this can be easy," and then they're like, "Oh," and then you saw like Ramsdale and like Kai and even Balogun was like, "Wow, this is actually kind of fun. Let's have some fun."
Yeah, they were just all having fun.
Which can I just rant for a second?
Go for it, Kyle.
So after a game last night, which is an exhibition, it wasn't friendly. It was an exhibition. I mean, both Union players.
Slaughter, though.
It was a slaughter, but both Union players got yellow cards because they actually played the game. Okay.
Yeah.
Great opportunity from us.
Yeah. And speaking of those two, the All-Star game, then we watched that from home last night. And it was cool to see both our guys start the game. So that was cool. And was anyone surprised at Brujo getting a yellow card?
I want to applaud him.
Yes, Brujo.
I called it.
The broadcasters were like...
all I got was text, Kyle, press send. And I'm like, look, I'm happy. He took the game seriously. Jacob took the game.
What do you do it any differently?
No, because
that's for you.
Would Jim Curtin take this game any differently? I don't think Jim would. I think Jim's one of those people who's like, one of us.
He is one of us.
So,
yes.
Anyway,
and Jacob got a yellow card too. And let's be real though, the one on Brujo was pretty soft. So.
It was. So,
but it's he has his reputation. So. What was it, like 12 minutes in or something like that? He got a yellow card.
It is what it is.
But whatever. Yeah, definitely not a great game for MLS. And also, watching that thinking, I mean, honestly, who cares? This is like basically an exhibition. But some of the players in there, I was like, yeah, definitely a crime that Julian Carranza was not in there. And then other players looked terrible. But it is what it is. I'm all for the guys getting extra rest anyway. And our goalies did not do great either. But would Andre Blake have done better? Probably. But he deserves a rest. I'm fine with him not being at the All-Star game. Oh, and speaking of Andre Blake, so when we were at the Skills Challenge, probably when they were on a commercial break or something, up on the Jumbotron, they'd have things about, like, it was called Know the Pros or whatever. And they would ask different players, not necessarily ones that were in the All-Star game, but different, big name players for MLS questions. And the first one that came up was, which team won the first MLS Cup? Right. And a couple of the first ones they showed got it wrong. And then Andre Blake comes on there, and we're like, yeah, let's go Andre. And I even go, like, I wasn't 100% sure, but I'm like, I think it's DC. And Andre Blake's like, I'm not sure, I'm going to guess DC. And he was right, because Andre is the best. So, and we start going, Andre Blake.
Yeah, it was fun.
Just the two of us, because, we're the only Union fans in our section there. But, yeah, that was fun. And, yeah, so that was cool. But yeah, overall we had a good time. And definitely, if you have a chance to go to an All-Star Skills Challenge, definitely a good deal to do that. And, I would have done that over the actual game for sure. Plus, the game tickets were way more expensive.
Yes, they were.
Yes, but actually, and when we were done with the All-Star Skills Challenge, we went down to the team store and we got some stuff. So we went back to it. We'd already been at the beginning, but we went back because we're like, okay, we might get some stuff.
Right.
So let's show some swag that we got there. I was like, I think I want to get a shirt or something, but I wasn't sure what I want. And then I saw there was a tank top, and I like a good tank top. So, and it was reasonably priced for all things considered. Mm-hmm. So, for those of you just listening, it is a red tank top, ladies tank top, and it says Washington, D.C., All-Star Game 2023, and It is red. So, obviously not something I'll be wearing to a Union game, but for working out and stuff, it's great. Yeah, so...
And this is what we're talking about with Billy.
Yeah, so friend Billy, who is up in 136 with us, also does the Philadelphia Union Archive.
And also does MLS Slander.
MLS Slander. So
and
shout out.
Also Growing Up Union.
Yes.
He was like, hey, I'm really wanting one of those balls. Are they giving them out or selling them? And we could check. So we went back. We found this last one in a bin. It was sitting there all by itself. We picked it up.
Yep.
Funny story, he was probably not paying. He was probably asleep or I don't know what he was. But anyway, and we were checking out. There was one other one, so this
So
wasn't.
and if you're just
really
listening,
the
it's a
last-
Captain America mini soccer ball.
Yep. Yeah, and this is one I said was an actual soccer game ball, but it's actually just a mini. So
Yeah, they were
well,
tossing
no.
some mini ones out, but like there's no way they were getting them up to where we were sitting.
And here's the magnet.
Yeah, so I get kind of like a little magnet collection going. So it is a MLS All-Star Game magnet, and I've kind of a magnet collection. I got a magnet when we went to Colorado, and we went to California for the MLS Cup. So I've been starting a little magnet collection that I keep on my filing cabinet at school.
Right.
So, and gosh, I don't want to think about school yet. It's still July. Teachers, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah.
So that was it. And do we want to talk about Saturday? So
Yeah.
Club Team One's coming in. It's the Leagues Cup. Not that we're excited, but we're excited to see the Union play. Let's be honest. We're not excited about the
Yeah, I mean,
contest,
we don't really care about the cup. I mean, the
but
Leagues Cup. But
we
yeah.
are excited about seeing the Union play. So
But yeah, it's another chance to see the Union play, and we'll do the tailgate. Sons of Men are doing a tailgate, and so we'll be
come
there.
out and join, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be a fun time. But fortunately, until the next time.
Yeah. So yeah, and we're gonna be busy with a lot of Union games in the next week. So we'll talk about that coming up. But we got some good guests lined up too.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to that. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of lineup we go with the Leagues Cup, because I don't know if you guys
Yes.
saw, we got the rosters for that, and we've got Richard Odata. I want to see Richard Odata.
Yeah, we got Andrew Rick.
And speaking of players from Africa, Union just signed new player from South Africa. If I'm saying it right, is it Owetu Makana?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's good
Makanya.
enough.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a good player. I mean,
I'm excited to see. If he gets to
he start this year. We don't know.
I know.
mean, I think it's a long-term plan, but
But the South African people are pretty high on him, and really say so. Who knows?
who knows? But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all for this episode for the One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, so make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe, leave a comment. We love hearing from you. And if you have any ideas on future episodes, questions, anything like that, please send them our way.
And until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
And we'll see you on Saturday at the game.